Hi everyone, it's Nisha. So today I've got another dupe video for you. So last week I did the dupe for Huda Beauty Rose Quartz, and today this one you asked for to be next is the Luster Charm from Alter Ego, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Pat McGrath Mothership 7 Divine Rose. Since I did the last video, the Alter Ego contacted me and they offered you now 10% discount with my code. So if you enter Nisha10, you get 10% of your order. It all will be in the description box. So let's have a look at these two. Obviously, we cannot compare the packaging. Pat McGrath is just pure luxury. It's very, very heavy, although that's not always a good thing. I wouldn't take that traveling with me. This is probably the heaviest palette that I've ever had. Very, very, it's not even plastic, I think it's like acrylic. It's quite heavy. And of course, the mirror is gorgeous, it's beveled. It just looks like a miniature mirror that you would find on your wall. And the Alter Ego Luster Charm palette is just in a cardboard box, although it's a really pretty design, nice and light, and it also has a mirror. So now let's have a look inside. As you know, the Pat McGrath is very, very expensive. Alter Ego palettes vary between $16 and $20, something like that. Depends, because sometimes they have sales on. But obviously, Pat McGrath, the quality and everything is just beautiful. But let's compare them inside. So this is Pat McGrath and this is your Alter Ego. As you can see, the colors look almost identical. They are just in different places. Also, the Alter Ego palette has the names of the eyeshadows under each eyeshadow, whereas you don't get that in Pat McGrath. So I have swatched them for you to compare them earlier on, so have a look at that. So at the top we have Pat McGrath and at the bottom Alter Ego. I can hardly see the difference between colors. When it comes to texture, for example, this iridescent one from Pat McGrath was much smoother than the one from Alter Ego. And I think the Alter Ego here is a bit more chalky. Then this beautiful color, which is like a duochrome. The Pat McGrath is sort of gold and pink and peach. This one is maybe a bit more orangey, but it's a very, very small difference. So you can see with this mauve one, the Pat McGrath is darker or maybe more pigmented than the Alter Ego, but they are almost identical. So here is another look with my mobile phone. This is in 4K, so maybe you can see the colors better. The top is Pat McGrath and the bottom Alter Ego. Can you see how similar they all are? So as you saw, they look identical with a couple of exceptions. When it comes to a formula, obviously there is nothing bad I can say about Pat McGrath. Some of the eyeshadows, for example, this gorgeous iridescent shadow in Pat McGrath is very, very smooth. In the Luster palette, it's a bit more rough and a bit more chalky, but the rest performed really well. Just swatching with the fingers, we will see what they are like on the eye. So I will do Pat McGrath on this eye and Alter Ego on this side. Have my pretty flowers in. I will use the same brushes, but obviously clean one for each palette, just in case I make a mistake. I've got the Sigma switch, which I love, to clean off my brushes. Okay, with Rifa 01, I am going into Mystic. It's this mauvey one. and I will apply that in my crease. Again, just like with the previous palette, it blends beautifully. No problem whatsoever. Lovely mauvey color. You probably can hear birds singing. That's because I have the window wide open. Hopefully that's not distracting, but nice and relaxing. Okay, I'm going to go to Pat McGrath equivalent. And they are so similar that you can definitely pick out which is which. There was a couple that I wasn't sure which is which till I swatched it, but most of them you will know. Okay, so straight away I can tell that this one is more pigmented, and you saw that on the swatches. I picked that up then. Also, I feel like the Pat McGrath is a bit cooler. So it's a very cool mauvey, sort of greyish, purplish mauve, whereas this has a bit maybe more pink in it. So I'm not sure if this is the pigmentation or just this colour from Alter Ego is lighter and a bit more pink. Not pink pink, it still has like this mauvey, purplish undertone, but pinker than this. So I will have to build the Alter Ego side a bit. Yeah, there is, you can see it. Can you see this is definitely lighter? But it's not a huge difference. Obviously, we are looking at it very closely. It's so confusing to remember the brushes. Right, I'm going to take 15, Rifa 15, and blend the edges, and another Rifa 15. Yes, I can definitely see the difference. It's just lighter, but it performs really lovely. Okay, on the same brushes, the O1, I will go to Rare, which is this dark brown, and the equivalent in Pat McGrath is here. And I will apply that on my outer corner. There is no fallout. I am amazed. And then let's do the Pat McGrath. So Pat McGrath, definitely more pigmented, but you know, Pat McGrath shadows are just amazing. But although if you are a beginner and you're not that good at applying eyeshadows, Pat McGrath's shadows can be a bit tricky sometimes to work with. You just have to do a lot of blending with some of them. So okay, so can you see, definitely, I even feel like it's, again, this one is darker, Pat McGrath, cooler, whereas the Alter Ego one is maybe, it's not warm, but it's slightly lighter and not as cool. Can you see? You can definitely see the difference. Okay, so that's where we are so far. Yes, Pat McGrath, definitely darker and cooler. It actually shows, when I look at my monitor, I don't know what it will look like when I edit it, but in the monitor you can see the difference more than I can see it in the mirror. In the mirror it's not that big, you know, obviously because I'm looking at it very closely I can see it, but I don't think anybody else would notice. I don't know which one to use on my mobile lid. I'm looking at these three, the gold one, the mink one, and this duochrome. It's very difficult because they are all gorgeous and they would all look really good. Do you know, maybe I try to use as many as I can. So how about I will go with Rifa 28 into Magnifique, which is minky color, and I will just apply it here. That is gorgeous. And the equivalent from Pat McGrath on this side. To me, they perform the same. I actually feel like the Alter Ego is a bit more shiny. I have to build up the Pat McGrath a bit more. Then I really fancy using this duochrome, you know, gold, orange, pink, and I think they are slightly different. So I'm going to use Rifa 02 and I will go into Radiant. It looks okay, dry. I'm sure if you used it with wet brush it will be even better, but I want to see first how they compare, both being applied dry. Okay, let's go now to the Pat McGrath. They seem to perform the same. And there is slightly difference, again, as you saw on the swatches, but I can't really see it on the eye. Okay, and I might use the gold one, which is called Spell, right in the corner. Another Rifa 28. This one is very subtle. And then on the other side of this brush, I will use the Pat McGrath. The Pat McGrath is a bit smoother. I'm going to go with this gold slightly on my lower lash line. And the same with the Alter Ego. Okay, on my lower lash line I'm going to go again to red, to this dark brown, and then I will buff it out with that mauvey one, and obviously the same on the other side. This is BK Beauty 210. I have to clean it off because I don't have another one of those. But we already know how these two eyeshadows perform. With Sonia G Pencil Pro, now I'm going to go to that mauvey one and just smoke it out a bit, clean it off, and Pat McGrath. Well, let me know if you can see. When I look in the mirror, can't really see the difference. Obviously I'm looking for it because I know that that's what I'm doing, but believe me, no one would know. Definitely see this a bit darker. Let's have a look if I can build up slightly more this brown. Okay, let me do my mascara and then I will be back. So that's the finished look. Both gorgeous. You can't really tell the difference. I mean, because I know that I was comparing them, yes, I can see that Alter Ego is a bit lighter here, but I don't think anybody else would notice. Oh, by the way, on my lips I have the NYX lip liner in Los Angeles and just Anastasia gloss in Saint-Tropez. I don't think you can really tell the difference. If you didn't know, you wouldn't say that they are both different palettes. So the Luster Charm, it's definitely a dupe for this palette. Of course, I'm sure the formula of Pat McGrath shadows is more superior, must be more expensive. I don't know, but I can't really tell the difference. They both work beautifully, blended beautifully, and as you can see, the colors are so similar. So I will keep this one for travel because obviously this is much nicer to travel with than this heavy thing, because the look that I got, it's lovely. There is no fallout whatsoever from this palette, which really impresses me, because sometimes, you know, the cheaper palettes can be quite chalky and you get loads of fallout, although you get fallout with expensive palettes as well. Don't get any with Pat McGrath and didn't get any with Alter Ego. Right, my lovelies, so I am very impressed. So let me know what you think. Could you tell the difference? You probably could while I was applying it, but if I just came on like this, I don't think you would notice that I have two different palettes on. If you enjoyed this video, please check out this one where I compared the Alter Ego palette to the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching and stay fabulous. Bye!